Hello, America, the Pacific Northwest. So it's the state of Washington. Where are you from? If you don't mind me asking. It's pretty nice outside today. It's like not too cold. Just a little cool. Mostly pretty. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Oh, you can see the creek down there. Yeah, it is a bit of a drop off. Oh, hi, Mr. Winnie Cat. Hope you're doing good today. Yeah, the creek I walked by there. I'm going down in the valley down to it. Hopefully, I've been here one time before, and I've had just enough cell service to still stream down there. Hopefully, it does good. You said it almost looked like Hawaii. I've seen pictures of Hawaii, but I've never been to Hawaii. But yeah, there's definitely some. I mean, I grew up in the southeast, in like Georgia and Tennessee, and this is definitely really different compared to there. A lot of evergreens and everything. I'll stop more up there on the way back. I kind of walked by where the bench was at, and you could see the creek past. Yeah, when I went by there's a little trail that cuts off, and there's a dude walking here with his two doggos. Looked like off leash, and he pulled them over to the side of the trail and was holding them there while I walked by. So I didn't want to like stick around too much and hold them up. They're kind of following me now, but I think going slower, and because I saw them leave from the parking lot, it looks like the dogs went to stop and sniff a lot. I saw them when I was walking by, and they were up looking at me like, oh my gosh, can we run over to them and try to get pets? They looked very friendly. Yeah, the trees are cool here. They're really mossy. Especially valleys like this, like I'm going down into the valley with a creek going through it. Hi, camper. Yeah, I haven't played Beat Saber since last Sunday. I will soon. I finished working on my car the last 2 days, and I don't think so. I know that there's still a bunch of them in like northern California, but there might have been some here at one point, and they like cut them all down, but none that I know of. I might just not know about them. I've only lived here for like 4 years, or 3 years, 3.5. So I don't know a huge amount about the area. But yeah, I hadn't streamed the last 2 days because I spent basically the whole day. Well, yes, Saturday I spent the whole day working on my car. Yesterday I spent like 4 hours working on my car, 5 hours, something like that. And then when I was picking up all the tools to organize the garage, I bent over to pick up some stuff, and my phone fell out of my pocket onto the floor, onto a wrench, and shattered its screen, my Android phone. So I spent the rest of the night getting my trying to get my phone number switched over and all my authenticators and stuff switched over to this phone. So I didn't stream yesterday either. Yeah, it kind of sucked. Do you want to work in your car too? No, not really. Chicken, I think I was telling Camper I wasn't playing Beat Saber. I pretty much gave myself carpal tunnel compressing springs. Like, so my arms need a. I might play some Beat Saber tonight, but if I do, it'll be really, really easy maps because my arms are too. My right hand is kind of numb today. So yeah, yesterday I spent the whole day also working on the car, and then my phone screen will work some. Like I can turn. Yeah, I didn't know I needed shock so bad. My car drives like a different car. Like it drove way better like 3 days ago when I put the rear shocks on. And then I got the front ones on yesterday. It took me 2 days because I had to compress the springs with them. But like with all 4 of them replaced, it just doesn't even drive close to the same. It's like a totally different car. They were really, 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 really worn out. That's what I figured out. Like pretty much shot. But yeah, luckily I got this iPhone to stream with. So I broke my Pixel screen, but I have a brand new iPhone that I can use. My like you buy them in a unit. I bought the rear ones loaded, like with the springs on them, but the front ones, unless you buy some cheap brand that's supposed to like yeah, but it's all put together. Like to get the strut out, you have to, or at least in my car, you have to take the strut off and take the spring off of it, compress it and take it off, and then put the spring on the new strut, like the new shock basically that you buy, and then decompress it. Yeah, I really like walking on this trail. It's a nice walk. I wonder how cold it is. I'm gonna go up here where it's easier to fill. Thank you for the follow, Cita 420. But yeah, anyways, what I was saying is I could get Monroe struts, like full assemblies, from what people were talking about them on the internet, it sounded like they only last like 50,000 miles before they wear out. So KYB or Bilstein shocks, Bilstein didn't make loaded ones at all, or struts, and KYB only made them for the back of the car. So unless I wanted to put trash on my car, also the OEM ones or whatever weren't loaded. So unless I wanted to put trash on my car, I had to load the front struts. And so mostly I thought I'd get it all done Saturday, but Saturday it took me like 4 hours to load the first one, like get the spring compressed and not, kill myself doing it. And then yesterday I did the second one, and also had some more tools that I bought that I figured out I needed. Yeah, from what I had read, KYB and Bilstein were both pretty good. Or some people said Bilstein were better, and some people seemed like people said that KYB were at least good enough, and they were way cheaper, at least on Rock Auto, than the Bilstein ones. Right, let's see how cold the water is. Oh, it's freaking freezing. Yeah, I already need an alignment anyways. My tires are almost worn out, and it's been wearing them uneven, which is fine because they're down to almost there. Last time I measured them, they were 5/30 seconds, I think, or something like that. Like they're barely legal. Come of non-standard springs that completely change your ride. That's what I had read also, and I was worried about putting the KYB ones, like loaded ones, on the back of my car. But I had seen a few people say they had put those on their Outbacks and they rode fine. So I decided I'd chance it. I figured worst case, if I decided I hated it, I could take them back off and put the swap the springs for the ones that were on the car. So I'm not gonna throw the old ones away, get rid of them yet. But so far they mostly seem. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. So far the back handles way better than it did. It might handle better with the original springs and new struts, but the KYB springs don't seem to be bad. I haven't regretted putting them on yet. But maybe they are good. Or cheap third-party ones on eBay. Oh. Yeah, I was worried about. Okay, that's what I had gotten that idea from. That they were pretty quality. So I replaced the struts, and the front I also bought new strut mounts. And my front sway bar links were hosed, so I replaced them, and replaced the back ones and the front sway bar bushings because they were also kind of loose. So I did all that, and man, compared to how it did, it rides like a brand new car. It's a joy to drive. Which, yeah, I didn't. So, as far as I know, it had the original struts on it. They were Subaru brand ones. And the car has 146,000 miles on it. And I bought it at 102,000 miles. And going by how it drives now, the struts it drives better, I'm pretty sure, than it did when I bought it at 102,000 miles. So basically I bought it with worn out struts, and they've slowly worn out more since then. But I didn't really realize that, because I guess they just wear out really, and you don't really notice it. But since I have new ones on, it is very obvious that the old ones were just pretty much shot. Yeah, and also I was having this like the back wheels when I'd pull up hills were making some like clunking noise, and I thought it was maybe one of the axles or something, like something wearing out. But I think it was my back struts were so bad that when I pulled up like a steep hill and it was really putting power to the wheels, it would just let one of the back wheels bounce on the pavement. Because you could kind of feel it where it felt like that's what was happening also. So the car is a lot smoother now pulling up a hill or braking. So they were so bad that, I didn't realize it. Yeah, and like, I didn't realize it, but they were hopping like that when I'd stop at like traffic lights also. Because like, just replacing the rear shocks, that's the first thing I noticed is it. Yeah, the back ones were leaking oil. So they were like, I guess pretty far gone. The front ones weren't leaking, but the new ones definitely still ride way better. But the back ones were really, really, really bad. Yeah. This is a different creek. The other one I was going along runs over that way. The trail doesn't go beside it anymore. And this is a smaller one that runs in. A nice bridge. Trail ends up here, and I'm going to turn around and go back. I think there's a few more nice views. That would be nice. I haven't gone camping since I moved to Washington. I really should. There's like in the summer when it's warmer, there's quite a few nice looking campgrounds like up in the mountains, like where it's snowy now, but like or I guess there's some lower ones where it's not snowy right now, but I don't actually know if they're open in the winter. Also want to like Olympic National Park. Oh. Is Bitrate dying? I'm walking around the hill. I might be walking out of cell service. Looks like I am. I'll turn around if it keeps oh, it seems better now. Look at this tree in front of me. All the ferns growing off of it. Be kind of cool. So there's the other creek I was walking along, just down this valley to the right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's some pretty cool trees. If you go over on the Olympic Peninsula, there's some like where it's more of a rainforest. There's some really like crazy mossy trees and like trees growing out of stumps and all kinds of cool stuff. You can see the creek a little down there. Oh, you can see it more down. See, it goes down the valley, or comes from down that way. Chicken. So, have you put the struts in your car yet? The cheap ones? I was thinking you said you had, because you were working on your car recently, but it might have been something else you were working on. The light cheap ones you bought off eBay. So there's the trail again. I came up. Cool. I need new tires, but I need an alignment, and I wanted to do the struts before I got an alignment. So that's why and it was warmer weather this weekend, so I thought it would be a good time to go work on them all. Work on the car for a few days while my hands weren't like freezing off while I was doing it. You do now? Okay. And there's that other little creek back on this valley, the one that I This is the one that the bridge is going over that I crossed, or you just won't want to. Yeah, that's why I worked in them all day Thursday, and then I took a break Friday because my shoulders were like tired, because the rear ones, most of the stuff you had to undo was under the car, so I had to lay down on my stomach or my back and reach up over my head, and my shoulders were really just tired Friday, so I took a break. But then Saturday and Sunday, I was planning on finishing them Saturday, but it took so much longer to do the front since I had to compress the springs. I'm going to turn around. I was going to say, the trail just goes right down here. It goes over to the highway and ends. You can go back to the way the beginning where I parked at, but you have to walk down the sidewalk. It's kind of noisy. So I'm going to go back this way through the woods again. But that's I was so sore. Yesterday I finished it because Saturday I tore the car apart and I didn't have either front wheel on or the struts on. So then I just couldn't work or nothing until I got it fixed. So like my hands were really tired yesterday from working on it Saturday, but it was like, you know, maybe I went and worked and let my arms have a break, but I couldn't work, didn't have a car, so I just went ahead and finished it. Running your what? It puts. Oh, hi. I was switching cameras trying to get the modding my whatever you said is right behind the back camera button, so I can't read it. Oh, here, I can do it. I can change chat here. Oh, PS Vita. Okay, that makes sense. I forgot I can move chat to the side, whereas the buttons aren't over it. I am using the built-in TTS of Mobilin, however you pronounce it, because the TTS app I usually use is an Android one, and my Android phone is at home broken, so I'm only using an iPhone. And this has a weird European sounding voice with a strong accent that I cannot understand good. Like, I mean, it's reading in English, but I'm really having a hard time understanding some of the words. And I didn't hear TTS say that, and then the word was behind one of the buttons. So it's just like, what? Oh, I noticed this. It has been so warm the last week that the trees are all starting to like bud and stuff. A lot of them are. They're getting their leaves. Because I guess there's like 4 days in a row that it was up in the 60s, low 60s. It's just nice. There'll be more green soon. So it doesn't get super, super cold and kill everything. Does that actually happen here? Or do most of the trees here, can they survive it being below freezing once they get their leaves in the spring? I haven't lived here long enough to have a good idea. I don't think it's gotten super cold, like below freezing, for multiple days in a row any of the springs, like once the trees start getting their leaves. It'll happen in the southeast some. The trees it'll warm up into the 60s and they'll get leaves, and then it'll get cold again and they'll die sometimes. Or they'll or bud or whatever. They'll at least get buds and then they'll die. I haven't good enough either to know. The bottom of the bridge is concrete. On wooden beams. Surprised he made the deck like concrete on wood beams. If the whole bottom wasn't like concrete, but I guess maybe those wood beams just last so long. Maybe the concrete's cheaper than wood and pretty permanent. If they basically don't ever have to replace the beams. It is starting to get darker down in this valley. Alright, should I jump in the creek this time when I go back by since I didn't the first time? Oh, I could dive off right here. Oh, it's actually washing the trail all the way here. It's kind of washing up under it there and it's caving in. Oh no. The water's so cold. I should have worn my Chacos. Then I could have at least just walked down the creek and my feet would be wet, but probably would. I mean, it's only in the 50s. It's actually pretty warm compared to most of the winter. I used to take our dog here. He really liked, he died a few months ago, but that's why I don't have him today. But I used to take him here a lot. He loved coming down here and just jumping in the creek, even when it was cold. One of his favorite places. He liked any trail that had a creek. Let's go. It is fun. He was 14, like almost 15. So, like, you know, we knew he was going to just get old at some point. Like, too old. Like, it wasn't sudden, basically. How are you? Let's go. Right here. I can walk this much into the creek. Walk over these rocks. Right up. As long as I don't get my shoes wet up to the laces, they're mostly fine. Man, this water is really cold. Is that a thing that people did in Washington? I actually don't know. Like in the southeast, when you go up around the Smokies, they have like gold painting for gold tourist attractions and stuff like that. You don't see that stuff here. At least I haven't. Was this like one of the places I wonder if people went during the like gold rush? I know there's lots of old coal mining here. Like that used to be really popular. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know, like, I've been to Colorado, and there's quite a few towns up in the mountains that are, you know, just little towns now. Some of them have, like, casinos at them, and they do other tourist stuff to try to get people in, because they are so small now, and a lot of them were, like, gold mining towns. Here, there's a lot of, bike trails and stuff on railroads and stuff, and hiking trails on railroads, where there's a lot of old railroads that they used for like logging or coal mining that they don't use anymore. There's actually one here, like back up the top of the valley, like that way. There's another trail that goes along the old railroad bridge, and they used that for coal mining. There's actually another park near here, and there's a few old, like, they're capped off now, but there's a few old, like, mine entrances and vent holes where they vent. There's one trail and it goes by old vent is capped off now, but it was a air vent that came up from a mine, and stuff like that. That stuff's all kind of cool to see. My hand's cold now after sticking it in the creek and getting it wet. It looks like the old bridge. Maybe when they replaced that one over there. Or they had one like over one of these depths or something. Funky. It's just where a little creek comes down. Oh, I didn't say earlier when we were coming through. This looks weird, like a clearing. It's where a water line goes through. Because there's another trail that goes up to the top of that hill. And then it comes down the hill and goes across the creek and I guess up the other side. I don't know if you can really see it on the stream, but there's kind of a gap there in between all the big trees. That's why there's a random clearing in the woods. It's really wet also. Oh, look at all the sap coming out of this tree. so crazy to look. All the branches come out of like that side, and this side's mostly clear because it's facing the rest of the trees more. Yeah, definitely seems to be. I don't actually see sap coming out of most of them. Wonder why that one does. Which, I mean, I don't know. Some of these you wouldn't be able to tell. They have so much moss on them. This area is especially mossy for some reason. Like even quite a ways up the tree. Almost up to the tops. They're moss covered. Compared to like, and then you look just right up the hill here and there's no moss on them at all. I think pretty much everything around here has been timbered at some point. As far as how big trees get, like in the Northwest, because there's some old growth forest over on the Olympic Peninsula that I've seen, and there's some just huge trees. And even here, if you go up into, oh, it was Rainier. There's a trail at Mount Rainier, which is a couple hours from here, like Mount Rainier National Park, that has some, that goes through a section of old growth forest. So some of the parks have some old growth forest. Seems like everything else has been, like anywhere around the city has been logged at some point. Yeah, it's really cool to see the like huge trees. There's on like Highway 101, I think it's 101 that goes along the coast. There's a big cedar tree. You just drive a little ways off the road and can go out this little short trail and see it. There's a lot of there's a lot of cedar trees there, and one really, really big one. Like the bottom of it is like, you know, it's not as big as like the redwoods that people can like drive cars through. Like some of those I think there's a couple of those in California, but the bottom of it is about as big as a car. Like, if I remember right, like a small car. Like huge compared to a person. Yeah, I wish there was more like that. Until I came out here, like there's some old growth forest in the southeast, but I don't think any of the trees are as big as the really huge ones out here. There's some really just huge tall cedar trees. Yeah, I wish there was more. That's like that and Rainier is the closest thing. Like you have to drive hours out of town, at least to get to anything I know about that's on like public land or a park where you can actually go see it. I mean, there might be some stuff on like private that I don't know about. Here's the part I walked by pretty fast earlier. I think we said don't jump off. Have a nice bench. You can just hang out and listen to the creek. Maybe I should walk out sometime. I've thought about walking out some trail sometime and just hanging out at the creek for a while. I don't know if that would be entertaining to watch on a stream or not. Wouldn't be a lot of stuff going on, but you could like listen to just the water. Today I don't really have a huge amount of daylight left, but it could be fun sometime. So here I don't know why this is out in the woods, but there's an old mail truck here. See, U.S. Mail. Crazy how the door still has that's still painted and the door still has paint on it. And that the tires are still intact. And who knows how old the thing is. But that's pretty cool. It has that fence to keep people from walking over to it. I guess it was here and I decided to just keep it and it'd be part of the park where people can see it. How long? I've been going for 52 minutes. I'm almost back. Trying to decide what to do. Yeah. Yeah, maybe there used to be a road going through through there. Or, yeah, like I wonder why it got left there. Like there's not any other cars here. There's just that one mail truck. Alright. Oh, so I was talking about railroads. I'm going to walk down this way a little bit because I wouldn't mind walking a little more and then I'll go back that way. But this is on an old railroad bed. Hello. You can tell it's just like flat and slowly curve, and it's like cut through the ground here. And this, if I remember right from the plaques, it's the old, there's down on the other end, this goes until it just stops where there used to be a railroad trestle. Trellis? No, trestle. Trellises are what plants grow up. Trestles are bridges. I get them mixed up sometimes, I think. Old railroad trestle that goes where it used to go across the valley. They told about this. If I remember right, it used to be for coal mining. It's kind of cool. There's a lot of trails on railroad beds here, because there used to be so much coal mining and logging that went on here. And I guess that's why there's no old growth forests, because, you know, they did a lot of logging here and logged everything. And here's the valley. I was down there in that end someplace. Kind of probably went down there and then went around the curve where you can't see from here. Hi. Oh. Hello. Oh, it's a cute runner doggy running along. I just saw the guy and kind of looked back and looked back in front of me, and there's a doggo coming. It's like, oh, surprised me. And I noticed that walking back up out of that valley, last time I walked here, my knee was still kind of weak feeling. And the first few times that's probably after I hurt my knee, that's the first like steep trail I went down and back up when I started taking Mog for walks up and down hills. But I've been doing so many squats, playing Beat Saber, like squat maps, and then bike riding last week, that my leg felt like my knee felt very, very strong going up that hill, like no effort on it at all. Like I would never, at this point, it's strong enough that I'd never know that I ever dislocated it. See all the stuff here. It's a nice view, kind of, and then go back. Or I don't know if nice view, but it's a view. You can see to the other side of the valley. That's the same creek I walked by. It goes down the valley, down this way. Let's see, it's May Creek. So it's the largest creek down this valley. I was trying to remember if it ran into a different creek and changed. I think it goes all the way to Lake Washington. I know it does, but I think it's May Creek all the way to Lake Washington. This trail you can walk on or ride bikes on. And there's also a trail that goes along Lake Washington that you can ride bikes on or walk on. And they're planning on connecting both of these. So, again. So that'd be cool. You could like start at Lake Washington and ride your bike all the way up here if you wanted to. Like kind of all the way up to the like start of the mountains. Oh, all these trees that have fallen over, that are cut up, are all trees that fell over when the bomb cyclone came by in November. It like blew trees down all over the place. And it's weird, this one, I noticed this last time I walked here. One of the trees that fell is that. It's like, it's either multiple trees grown together, or it's one tree that has multiple trunks. I'm not sure, but like, see, one of them broke off, and there's 3 big ones, and I guess that one little one that are still there. They're all. It looks like it's multiple trees, and they just grew so close to stumps combined. But I don't know. Funky. It's like a mass of trees. Although it could be like these. Like here's one right here that has 2 trunks. Like that looks like one tree when it comes out of the ground, and it splits into 2 trunks. So who knows? Well, I'm almost back to the car, so I guess I will go ahead and end stream in a minute. Guess I'll go work the rest of the evening. I didn't get to work any this weekend, or at least not Saturday and Sunday, because my car was undrivable. Well, I kind of, it wasn't undrivable last night, but I was trying to get all the stuff off my phone before the screen died the rest of the way, because the screen had stopped working enough that once I cracked it that I couldn't get anything off of it, and then after like 30 minutes or an hour it started working again, where I could like turn it on and it would work for like 30 seconds and then it would just start flashing white. So I kept turning it on, and most of my stuff I could get off, but there's a few things I wouldn't have been able to. So I got lucky that it started working again. That helped. Even the stuff that... There's a lot of stuff I could have eventually got back into, but it made it much easier with this since the screen started working again. Part of the time. So I did all of that. Wanted to make sure I got everything off before the thing just decided to completely die. Let me look. Man, the Twitch app on iOS is funky compared to Android. Like, it's very different. Wait, does... Well, that's weird. Does it blurs the screen when I minimize the app? Huh. I have the app set to streaming, background streaming, I'm pretty sure. But it might still blur it. I've pulled it up before and seen it blurred, but I just had the Twitch app open right then where I could see it, and it looked blurred on stream. Well, hopefully the sound still works when it's blurry like that. But I have to open it to find someone to raid, because I only have one phone. Has this updated? I want to make sure people are actually still live. Alright, hopefully the sound still works when it blurs. There's not that many people on, so I'm raiding Benny. I think he's still alive. I raided someone a few weeks ago, and it's because the Twitch app didn't update, because I didn't have good internet, and it's buggy, and they were offline. And the Android one is so weird, and it wouldn't play the video. I don't know if it's because I don't have good enough service, or if it's because he's not actually live anymore. So just wait for that to count down. Yeah, hope the stream was entertaining. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was really wondering, because I didn't know it blurred until I found that out today. Probably I watched my VODs more. I would, but never call it the occasional. I haven't actually minimized the program much because I've just been using my other phone because it's easier that way. So anyway,